Welcome to Citrine's Kitchen. Today we are making lamb chops. As always, all of the ingredients needed is listed below along with the measurements. However, feel free to tweak the recipe to your liking. First step is going to be to cut and grate 3 tablespoons of ginger. Feel free to add more than 3 tablespoons. We're using the ginger to marinate our lamb. Lamb is a very gamey meat, so ginger actually helps with the gaminess. It helps reduce the gaminess. It won't necessarily eliminate it, but it will do a really good job reducing it. After your ginger is grated, transfer it into a bowl and place that bowl to the side. Next step will be to clean the lamb. For a full video on how to clean your meat, please check the description box where I will link a previous video I made on how I personally clean my meat before cooking. A good tip for lamb, goat, or any other gamey meat is to purchase younger meat due to the fact that the younger the lamb is, the more tender its meat and flesh is. Unfortunately, I am working with a poor quality piece of meat that has a lot of fat that needed to be trimmed off. This lamb that I'm using was purchased from my local grocery store. I did not go to a butcher. So I would encourage, if you do want to make a lamb chops or lamb in general, just to kind of go get it from a butcher. That way you can kind of ask questions about, the lamb's age. You could request specific cuts, etc. Now that my meat is clean, I'm going to go ahead and create a marinade for it to marinate in overnight. I'm going to start off by adding in 4 to 5 tablespoons of Epis. I do have a separate video on how I make my Epis, which will also be linked below. Go ahead and evenly coat each piece of lamb with the Epis. After the lamb has been coated, transfer in your fresh grated ginger. Add in 1 teaspoon of adobo powder, a 1/4 teaspoon cumin, a 1/4 teaspoon cinnamon powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of ginger powder, a 1/2 teaspoon garlic powder, and lastly a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. After massaging in your dry seasoning, we are going to go ahead and add in some herbs. Go ahead and pluck 3 sprigs of rosemary, and 3 sprigs of thyme. And that concludes the seasoning and marinating part of the recipe. Transfer your lamb into a Ziploc bag and allow it to marinate overnight. When you are ready to cook your lamb, you are going to go ahead and melt in some herb butter. The butter I am using I got from Trader Joe's. However, if you're not able to get herb butter from your local grocery store, what you could do is just mince in some fresh garlic. During this cooking process, I will not be providing measurements. Feel free to add as much or as little of these seasoning and herbs as you would like. So after my butter is added in and has melted, I transferred in some rosemary and fresh ginger, and then drizzled in some olive oil. Now I'll be squeezing in some garlic paste. If you don't have garlic paste, go ahead and mince in again some fresh garlic. Transfer in your lamb. I will not be fully cooking my lamb on the stove. I am going to finish it off in the oven, simply because I want, a crispy layer. So again, you could feel free to cook your lamb fully on the stovetop. However, I would recommend for best results just to kind of finish it off in the oven like I will. And juice from half of a lemon. A few dashes of all-purpose adobo seasoning, and some garlic powder. After all your seasoning has been added in, allow your lamb to cook on the stovetop for an additional 5 to 7 minutes, and then transfer it into a pan to bake in the oven at 450 until it is cooked to your liking. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a comment below and like and subscribe. Thank you.